All right, so yesterday I got an email from a scammer who's trying to get access to my Gmail account, and they do this in the form of wanting to get a fake quote from you. So this will probably apply a lot to digital marketing agencies, but also just to anybody with an Adwords account. So I wanted to do this video to kind of follow up and give you my tactics of how I analyze and decide if an email that's coming in is from a scammer or from a legitimate company wanting a quote. Some people might see this and say, well, it's not that hard, but actually they're getting really sophisticated in how they're doing this. And so I thought it warranted doing a video about it. First thing that you want to look at is analyze the scammer's email that they're sending to you. So a lot of them are getting really, really good, but there's subtle hints that can actually cause you to think twice, like, what are these people actually thinking? So on the email that I got, they said that their monthly budget was $120,000. Some people might say, well, that's really large, but they were impersonating Redfin, which is a really large real estate website. So $120,000 a month is actually not really that far off, but they put 120,000, not comma. Clearly, that's a little bit of a red flag. The other thing is they immediately said, your company is amazing. You have lots of expertise. We'd really like to work with you. With a budget like that, they're not going to just come right out and say, oh, I really want to work with you. They're actually going to get multiple quotes, talk to multiple companies, and they're not going to say, we think you're amazing. So that's another red flag. They're going to probably try to make you feel like they came to you for a specific reason. And frankly, if they did that, they're probably not going to show their cards. Like a legitimate company is still going to get a quote. And then the last thing in the email that was pretty obvious was they basically came out and they said, we want you to run our Google Ads campaign through Google Ads, which is kind of redundant. And there's multiple Google ad platforms. There's LSA, there's Display Network, there's AdWords. To me, it was just kind of a red flag that they would say, we want you to run our Google Ads through Google Ads. It's almost like they didn't even know what they actually wanted. If an email is giving off vibes like that, that's probably plenty to say, hey, this is from a scammer, don't read anymore. But if you want to do more research, we can move on to the next steps. All right, so the next thing I looked at was who the person was. So this scammer, they called themselves Nora Jane. They had the right logo in it. The address was the corporate address for Redfin in Seattle. So that all looked fine, but her email address was redfinestate.com. Some people might say, okay, it could still be their corporate address because to avoid getting spam, they might use some kind of an address like that versus just redfin.com. So I did a quick search online to see what Redfin company emails are used, and they were redfin.com. So this domain address was not a domain that is actually owned by Redfin. And so obviously that's another flag. They wanted it to look like it might be legit, but I did a whois lookup. It's owned by a foreign entity, couldn't even pronounce any of the people's names, and it was registered to a Gmail account. Probably a multi-million-dollar company is not going to use a Gmail account to register their domain name. Another major red flag. So this was pretty much plenty to go off of. I also did a LinkedIn search based on Nora Jane, Redfin, came up with nothing. So I'm comfortable in saying there's no reason to respond. But to finish off, I wanted to at least explain what they were after. So in the email, they said, hey, can you let us know what your Google Ads email account is that we can share access to so you can analyze our account? Now, it might sound harmless enough, but number one, they're asking for your Gmail account or whatever account you have that's with Google, and they just want the email address. But what's going to happen is when you give access to somebody through AdWords, AdWords sends the invite. And so you then get an invite email that looks like it's from Google, but it's from them. You put your email address in there and they essentially steal the email and steal your password and immediately log into your AdWords account, lock you out of it, change your phone number so you can't do two-factor authentication anymore. And then they'll either start running spammy ads and wasting budget, or they'll run them and get your account canceled. So either way, it's not good because you're either wasting a ton of money on ads that are clearly not for you, or you don't even get to advertise anymore because Google bans your account. And Google's aware that this is happening a lot, but they can't keep up because it's too many spammers are trying it, and it's just too hard to keep up because they only find out when somebody complains that their account was hacked. The other thing that's really not great is they can also get into your Gmail account and try to go after any other personal information, go through all your old emails, see what banks you have, things like that. Try to get into there based on just changing your password, things like that. So it's just really bad overall. Even though it seems harmless, even though it seems like, oh, all they want is my email, they can actually do a lot of damage with that email address just because they'll impersonate Google. Be careful. If something looks even semi-fishy, stay away from it. I know everybody's looking for work right now. Everybody's trying to get ahead with their agencies, but don't fall for these scams because obviously it's going to cause you headache for months and months and months. So hope you enjoyed the video. Share it with others if so, and otherwise take care.